Good morning, good morning. Happy Sunday. It's coffee time. It's unboxing time. Hopefully everyone can hear me and hopefully sound's coming through. No guest today, so I'm talking to myself. Hopefully it's all coming through. Welcome to episode 3 of my coffee morning unboxings. It's mellow, it's chill, and it's helping me get through a lot of boxes that need to be opened. Good morning, Bitter Troll. Yes, it's afternoon. I do get that, but you can have coffee with popcorn, right? It may be popcorn time for you. It's still coffee time for me. Second coffee, I would admit. But good to be here. Loud and clear. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. So today I'm going to fire through a few boxes. You may have seen it on the thumbnail. They were picked up 3 awesome ships that I was never able to find on the pegs here in North America, but over in Japan I found all 3 of these just sitting there in front of me, which was amazing. There were 2 chases and 1 rare, and I'm also going to be unboxing the Jazzwares Vault exclusive that just dropped, which was the Geonosian Starship, which looks great, and we got to get it out and have a look at it. Hopefully everyone's had a good week. Hopefully everyone's ready to see some more of these things out of their plastic prisons. And yeah, let's crack on and get going on it. Like I said, there's a lot of ships, 4 in total, and we want to get a look at them. So let me just get myself in here and let's get a look at what we're going to start with. All right, so I am starting with our TIE Interceptor, but this one is a Special Forces. You won't be able to see that from this packing because, as you can see, although we have our regular blueprints, schematics, what to do, how to do, down here we have it in a different language, and from what I can tell with a lot of these things, it's Spanish and Portuguese, which is weird, right? So even the chase is presented that way, and I've never seen this on one of the stickers. I don't know if you guys have seen this before. I don't know if you picked up some of these in your trades or buys or somewhere else in the world of Micro Galaxy, but it's pretty interesting to see that. Totally different. Still 5,000, but totally different. I've been after this one for a while, and let's crack on. Oh, good morning, Desertal. Daniel, how are you? I'm doing well. Hopefully you are too. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. We're just going to get fired in here. No time for any messing around. Hopefully you got your coffees. And, I'll be showing off my mug in a minute after the first one. After spending some time with Paul last week, I hope you all enjoyed that one. That was a lot of fun. Always good to hang out with friends and open boxes and see what we got, right? And as Paul said, it's got to be fun. That's why we do it. All right, let's get this out here. Now I can take a better look at what we got. As I said, we got the same old as we'd expect to see. We have our blueprints, schematics showing us the ship. We have what the ship's going to be able to do, and we've seen the TIE Interceptor before. But one thing you may notice up there is that we have a different pilot, which we can get into, which is cool. But it's just, to me, it's just, I've never seen this before, so I was excited about seeing this the foreign language in there. It's kind of cool. And again, as we discussed last week, meh, boring, but, you know, I get it. This is a Series 7 as well. So we see Series 7 and Series 8. This is in the Legends designation. Okay. Save that for later. As I said, I'm going to keep all of those. Oh, Paul's here as well. Good morning, Paul. You're right. As I mentioned, spent a good Saturday morning last weekend with Paul. We were unboxing some of our stuff, and yeah, it was good to see the technique. I felt my ripping technique did not do anyone any favors, and I shall be proceeding to continue to cut in this precise and almost surgical way. Thank you, Paul. Thanks for joining. Great chat. In the chat and while I fix that. All right. So I am probably going to keep cutting these off rather than peeling them. So cool. I like the sturdiness of the plastic. So no peeling right now, but I just want to show that off as something different for me and hopefully for you. And of course, the price tag of 2,600 yen. I got this from an amazing store called Toy Sapiens in Japan that has all the hot toys. I'm sure you've seen some of our stuff that we posted out about that. A great store. If you're ever there, go visit them. Pay them a visit. They've got some amazing stuff for you to look at and to purchase. Okay, ready for the plastic ASMR. All right, so here's our ship with our extra detailing to make this one unique. Our red stripes on our wings. Which is cool. And we got a little safety belt here in case our cockpit decides to open up in transit. Luckily, I'm prepared with my snips. And here we have our pilot, Suntier Fell. Suntier Fell. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I would say help me with the pronunciation in the chat, but typing's probably not going to help, right? But you can see the difference here of our Thai pilot. Totally different pay scheme, which is cool, which again is why we need these, because the ship may not be radically different, but the little dude is. And we need that. And going back to last week and talking about this sort of thing, this one does come with a stand. And I think you remember Paul mentioning that the stand for this one, again, was one he mentioned where it clips the wings into the base. And we'll take a look at that once we do a deep dive into the ship. So again, another stand from Jazzwares with the same kind of detailing we've seen on it and the other ones. And primarily just to park this thing. So this would be used to park it on the shelf without just resting it on the wings and having it pointing down, which is great. Okay, let's take a look at this ship. Again, standard TIE Interceptor, which is slightly bigger than our TIE fighters as far as the cockpit's concerned, and everything else. The scale is slightly larger with these interceptors. Figures are still the same. The real only difference I can see at this point, I think our iron engine canopy will open here, which it does, revealing a nicely metallic silver painted ion exhaust or engine. The metallic paint really does add to it with the black in the middle there. So again, we've seen that on a lot of our TIEs and our other interceptors. And now let's release this cockpit. Going in, safe and sound. None of those big industrial cutters that we saw last week with Paul. All right, that's off. And now I'll do a little cockpit reveal. See what we got. It's like a standard cockpit in there. Magic window letting in all the light. Okay, nothing new. Good paint job. Won't take us long to review this one. I'm going to sit him down here for now, and you can see, but you can't really see, can you? Because it's a down camera. But what happens with this one, if you lay it down, it's going to sit here, which isn't super sexy. Sitting on the shelf looking like it's crashed. So this stand is going to hopefully allow you to situate into the bottom part of the wing there. And then now when you stand it, sit it, lay it on your shelf, this thing's going to be laying flat. So good idea, well thought out. And again, this would just be in a parked situation, not in battle. So I'll leave that there for now. So you can look at it and let's check out our pilot. not dumping on your clippers. I'm just saying sometimes it's not about the size. You know, small and, you know, easy to get in. Gets the job done. All right, let's take a look. You know what? Let's stick him in my handy dandy figure stand so I can hold him without shaking up at the camera. You don't need to see his butt. You want to see the details. Okay, so here is our pilot. Look at the detailing they've done on this little dude. We've got a blue flight suit, obviously, with black boots. We've got a slightly different colored belt that goes around the outside. The chest box is painted different color. There's a little bit of silver in there from what I can see. Helmet details there with the insignia on the side. And now we've got these red stripes going down the arms, blue gloves, and our white armor. White back belt at the back there. Wow. And these things are small, guys. You know this. The detail on there is incredibly cool. I like that. I like that a lot. And in comparison, here's our standard tie. Not that you really need a reminder, but you know, just the regular black versus this one. Yeah, they really did do a good job on the detailing here. I am a fan of this. What do you guys think? Worthy of getting this ship just for our minifig and paint job? I think so. In fact, I think it's worthy of having two, because now you can be a team of these in any diorama you want to set up. I'm going to do a quick comparison, model size, shape, everything else with a regular tie interceptor. And you can see same ship, different paint job, but it does make it look doubly cool. Look at the synchronicity. Yeah, it's a cool looking ship. Definitely need a couple of those. Like I said, I've never found one of these on a peg. But to see it in Japan, I knew I had to get it. But I'm kind of needing another one. And the hunt will continue, I am sure. Now, one of the other things I've been mentioning a lot of is making some stands on these to make them more dynamic, more sort of action poses. And I did do a couple of ones for this one. My original stand was of this kind of caliper and shape, where it would come in and clip on to the wings like so. And then that way I could put it on my regular figure stands and manipulate it where I needed to go. But I don't know, I didn't like that as much. So next one I made was this one. And again, just clips into the recess of the wings there, because I don't want to do much to take away from looking at the ship as well. So this clips in here, sits under the body. You can still see everything about the ship. And then that way, this can go on to a regular, easy to find on Amazon figure stand. Goes on the little peg on the end. Now, again, hard to see when we're looking at it face down. Now you can manipulate this thing and put it into different angles and positions. So it's not just, you know, let me put it into this cam here so you can see it. There we go. So again, side to side, up and down. Now this thing can do a lot of different poses while it's sat amongst other ships. Make it more dynamic, make it more action-packed. So that's kind of cool. That's what I've been working on. That's what I love about these things is each one of them is totally different. So each one of them needs a different connection. But it's kind of cool. So I can't wait to get this bad boy out and display. It is really, really cool. What do you guys think? Yeah, Daniel, I am going to make sure you can get your hands on these and test them out in force. I've been doing some refining to make sure that they're going to work every time. You know, not that I'm a perfectionist, but there's no point banging something out that you're going to say, why did you send me this load of crap? But yeah, they're working out real good. And each one of them takes a little bit of time to figure out where the best point to join is. Because as we discussed again the other week, is there's no real mounting point for these ships coming straight out of Jazzwares. So it's kind of a challenge and fun to find a way of doing a clip to go on there to hold it tight so that you can manipulate it into the place you want. It's not like you're going to be using it all the time. You just want it to sit there in that position and maybe change it every now and then. And that's kind of what I'm aiming for with that. So yeah, I'll definitely make sure you get some testers out there. Make sure this thing. Yeah. Okay. Who doesn't do that? I mean, even if you're not doing it out loud, in your head, you are doing that. You are making the sounds. Tell me I'm wrong. You know, it's why we play with these things. It's why we get them out of the boxes. Yeah. How much more cooler is it to see this thing without the shine and reflection and everything else of a plastic box? You know, it's got to be done. No problem. I'll make sure it happens. You know how fast I am. True, Bitter Troll. It is. Everybody makes it. Even if you have one of those high-end, very expensive lightsabers, you're still making the sound in your head, whether you're doing it out loud or not. You know, hey, the empty roll of wrapping paper does create a good sound effect. You know, you remember the old lightsabers back in the day, the plastic tube with literally a flashlight on the end of it. The cool thing was you could take the top off, kind of like an old-fashioned Kinder Egg, and then when you waved it around in the air, it would make the noise of a lightsaber, right? How cool was that back in the day? And now we have everything. Lights, sounds, effects. Yeah, so cool. So cool. All right, let me get this back on its special stand so we're not letting it crash. Stand it over here with his little dude. And then I am going to have a quick sip of the old coffee to get the hands even shakier and the brain focused. Today's mug from the Adventure Effect, in case you're wondering, and I'm sure you are, is the Death Star. How cool is this? Again, if this is floating your boat, hit up theadventureeffect.com, good friends of mine, and treat yourself to an awesome mug to drink the coffee or the tea or the hot chocolate or whatever you want to do. You can even use it for water if you want because it looks cool. Cheers. Oh, okay, that's what we need. Okay, so tie-in the scepter, done, dusted. Easy peasy. Anyone out there want to see anything else about that? I'm sure you've all seen them. Just checking the chat here. Oh, Ryan Dole's joined us. Good morning, Dole. Good to see you're awake. Hopefully you didn't have a late night. Yeah, our savers do play the movies. Sound effects, everything, right? It's crazy. Scrolling up. Sorry, I did miss you coming earlier, Ryan. I know you've been here for a while, 5 minutes. Oh, here we go. And Darth Gutierrez. Good morning. Good morning. Another good morning. Afternoon for all the other guys out there. All right. Moving on. Okay, the next one. Again, found in the same store. Just hanging there. Same thing. Chase. Oh, let me flip over. Hang on. Don't want to look at this mug anymore. All right. Same Chase sticker. Again, Spanish and Portuguese, I think is what it is. This one is Resistance A-Wing. Rise of Skywalker. There you go. Rise of Skywalker. This one was a Chase. Got a couple of A-Wings, but it's great to have a whole fleet. So again, Chase sticker is going to have to be cut out and put on its placard. This one is a Series 6. Again, never found it. Never found it. I got quite excited when I saw these just hanging there. Standard on the back. Blueprints. This one actually says Resistance A-Wing on it. Again, Resistance A-Wing. Action and cockpit opening. And our landing gear will pop down. Being a Series 6, we do have a graphic in the back, which is cool. Apart from that, standard of what we want to see for the Starfighters. Crack her open. Smooth. Hope you're still watching, Paul. Appreciate this. Morning, Tommy. Tommy K's in the house. How you doing, Tommy? Thanks for joining. Yeah, you did have a late one, Ryan. Okay. Well, grab a coffee, dude. Thanks for joining. What else has everyone been up to? Have you been shopping? Have you bought anything? Have you found any of the Series 9s? What's been going on? Oh, I've got a little hanger. Hanger on. All right, there's the graphic, right? It's cool. I did like seeing these. Another reason why we would open them up. Can appreciate that for a bit because we're not seeing it anymore. Cool. Another one to save, another one to cut out. Again, we get more on the insert card. Looks like we got the back end of the Falcon. First Order TIE Fighters, because this is from Rise of Skywalker. Cool. Another one to save, cut out. All right. It's that time for crinkling. All right. Easy peasy. Let's get rid of that. All right. Let's check out this A-Wing. Okay. Again, same ship, new paint job. And even the cannons, they've gone into detail on the cannons. A couple of different colors on our cannons. It's not quite it is a kind of metallic gray on the cannons, but it does give it depth. It's cool. This one's all marked up with the blue graphic. Again, blue and gray. More on those cannons. Just adds a little bit more depth, right? With all this weathering. Brings it to life. And then we have our engines at the back with all the different paintwork on them. No glowing yellow or white or blue in the engines on this one. Just a solid color. Again, even in the back of the wing here, we have this metallic silver, just adding a little bit more realism and depth to it, which is cool. Safety belt for the cockpit. Let's crack her open. Oh, easy. Get rid of that. These are cool little ships. I like them. Again, as you can see on the bottom there, no real place to stand. This one didn't come with one, but it does have a landing gear. And this way it's going to keep it upright when you sit it down on the floor. So proper land it. Proper land it. Open up the cockpit. It's just the back portion here that opens. No detail in the cockpit itself, but the details there in the mold, not with the sleek looking. Oh, put the landing gear down, dude. Okay. All right, now let's take a look at this pilot, Resistance A-Wing pilot. I like the green on this. It's like a green and khaki almost. Like we see most of our rebel soldiers wearing. Okay. Let's see if I've got another one of these. All right, let's get you situated. Okay, just a quick look up here. What are you saying here, Tommy? Right, yes, the blue does look good, Ryan. I agree. The blue does look good. Due to space limitations, let's get this done. One of each ship type. Okay. Yeah. It's tricky, right? Space danger is real. Something we discuss a lot. But here's the thing, Tommy. It's a little ship, right? Now I get it. It's a little ship. You could get away with more than one of these. It's not like it's a, Lambda shuttle. It's not like it's a Millennium Falcon. It's an A-Wing, and it looks good with a partner. It looks good as a squad. If each one's a different color, I don't really want to enable, but I'm just putting out some points there, But yeah, space danger is real. It's difficult. I don't know where I'm going to put them all, but this is the fun. Hopefully you guys join me on that journey, and we'll see what happens with it. Yeah, Ryan agrees. Space danger is real. And Peter Joel's been pondering getting rid of some seating to make more room. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Get some new shelving around the walls or something. Maybe get something for the back of the couch, which can also double for storage. That could be a way. All right, let's get on with this pilot. Oh, get rid of that. Okay. So, Resistance A-Wing pilot. Hopefully this is coming in clear. We have our green. And like I said, it's not white. It's kind of khaki. But again, look at the detail in this. It's crazy. 2 shades of green. The main jumpsuit's like a light, like olive drab almost, and then you've got green on the. It looks like a darker green on some of the other parts. Ejection harness, they've really got in there, like they do on the Rebels. Gloves. Even the hose, look at the hose that drops down. Wow, that's so cool. Helmet's got a lot of detail on it too. All the way around there. Back of his bib there is all, look at it. Yeah, that's a cool looking figure. All joking aside, yeah, if you don't get them, you don't get the minifigs, and they got you that way, right? And it's almost like the minifigs have become so cool, you need to get that other ship. Find space for it, just so you can have this dude. It's cool. Look at the detail on that helmet. So cool. All right, I'm going to put him in. Get him in there. Come back in the cockpit with grace. I really clicked it down. Oh God. Oh God. There we go. I did it. Okay, let's get him in. It's not easy to do and try and keep it on camera. Wow, that's tight. Look at that. There's little, that's a tight squeeze. I'm gonna go in with the concentration face, people. Bear with me. Bear with me. Let's see if I can get his legs in those little leg holes. And then I'm probably never gonna take him out again, right? Okay. Oh. Channeling, nothing can be easy. There we go. Did you hear that? Did you hear the strain and the squeak of his little body being forced in there? What do you think? Do you think he needs to go down more? Man, there's not a lot of room in there. There we go. Okay, he's in. He is in. Safe and sound. Ready for some action. Love it. No regrets. Happy to have. Now, one of the other ones, the first A-Wings I got, again, I was like, how the hell can I have this on a stand? So I did get to work on what I can do with a really sort of like non-intrusive clip and came up with this little bad boy. I think you can already guess, similar to what we saw on the stand we got from Jazzwares for the wings. On this one, I kind of used the same idea, but then had to find somewhere in here that would grip it so it wouldn't just fall off. So with this one, there's a tiny little recess in this back wing, just in here, where I thought that would be good. So with this, very, very simply, just line it up with that and then push it into place. And now we have a way of mounting this onto our standard peg, one of our figure stands. Ease it in there, people, ease it in there. You don't want it to break off, although you can always poke it out, right? So now we can do the same thing. We can tilt, we can lift, we can dive, we can pose this thing to be in any kind of position we want it to be, along with the other squad doing its stuff, doing its thing. And you can still see all the super detail that comes with the ship. So again, get some of these, put three of them together, gets rid of that space danger because they're not sitting on top of the shelf, right? And that's what it's all about. We've got to get these things out. We've got to play with them. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. All right. What does everyone think about the A-Wing? Let's get a look here. Okay. Ryan's not seeing the khaki. It is a great greeno. Daniel says, stop collecting hot toys, space problems solved. Kind of true, right? But how can you not buy a hot toy when they're so badass and awesome to own? And again, no point keeping them in the box. You've got to get them out. Yeah, one or the other, I guess. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Every now and then, though, one comes along and you think, I kind of need that. A-Wing is great. I agree. What do you think? You need more than one, Ryan? I think so. Great A-Wing. Oh. Who says he likes it, but he wish he did an OG A-Wing. How many have we had now? How many A-Wings have we had now? We've had a few. I know we had the Hera one. We had... What were the other ones? We had the Hera, we had the red colored one, we had this Resistance one. What was the other one? Here it is. Cursing myself, but without having the box, I can't remember what they labeled it. But this was the original one, right? I think this was the original one that came out. And I think that matches what we had originally, right? What's wrong with this one? I'm looking at the chat. I'm waiting to see what comes back. This one's even got the detail in the engine that we were talking about with the little yellow glow that we see in there. Same model, more detail on the blue Resistance one, but going back to the standard one, I think you could get from. Okay. It's still based on the sequel model. Gotcha. That's right, Daniel. Yeah, I did see that they teased an Ezra one, so we'll see if we do get that one. See if we do get that one. Not chunky enough, Paul? Is that what you're saying? Here's the thing, though. If you were to get an original one, different mold, would you be tempted to get more of them if they released another line of them, but with a chunkier mold? Or have you got enough A-Wings at that point? I mean, to me, you're going to have to get them. You're going to have to get them. You're going to need them because they're a totally different mold, right? So it'll be a whole fleet of A-Wings. I don't know. What do we think the decision was to go with this one versus the OG? Is it to give us the option of going back to OG at some time? I mean, once you've made a mold, you kind of utilize it and repaint it, right? So maybe that's a question we can pass on to the Jazzwares guys. Speaking of which, I did hear watching Micro Galaxy Squadron's livecast on Friday that there could be an upcoming livecast with Jazzwares. I don't know if there's a way we can qualify that, but I believe Thursday we're going to be getting a live with friends over at Micro Galaxy Squadron and Paul, from what they were telling us on Friday. Yeah, I know it's a ridiculous question to ask you, Paul. I was kind of aimed towards the people that were saying they weren't even going to buy a blue one. Yeah, save your questions up. If we do get another live stream with Jazzwares, maybe we can pose a question. Are you going to go back to a chunkier original version of the A-Wing rather than the sleek looking streamlined one that we have right now? All right, that's two. Let's crack on. Don't want to keep you guys all morning. People got things to do. Moving on. This was another one which I never saw on the pegs. I wasn't super worried about getting it. I remember having a conversation saying, I don't need it. I really don't need it. And then once you get one of the infiltrators, you get another one of the infiltrators, and you get another one, and then you go out and you buy more, and then all of a sudden you've got this whole array of infiltrators. And I remember Interceptor, sorry. I remember going into Ross, and that would be a place where I could gain a lot more of these things at a much lower price. And I think that's what kind of enables you to buy more of these when you do see them in a discount store, and you can get them for a third of the price. So I remember getting Yoda. I remember getting, I think it was Anakin. There was a couple of these just popped up in Ross. And so, well, okay, well, if I've got these ones, then, you know, why not I go with the other ones? But this one was at Celebration. Tommy, if you're still on, I'm sure you remember seeing it there. I remember we were quite excited about getting in there and seeing these on the peg. It was there. It was there. It was hanging on a peg. Why not, right? It's a rare. So again, you know, start to collect these rares and get all these collections. I got it. I gave in. I gave it in. Let's get it open. Has anyone here got interceptors? Let's join in. I know a lot of you that are here right now are collecting these. Do you have the interceptors? Did you get all of the interceptors? Is there a particular interceptor that you had to get and you're happy that you've got that one and you don't need any more? Right. You see me staring off into the distance. I haven't had a seizure. I'm just checking the chat. Dennis says, take your time. If we had stuff to do, be doing it. Cheers. Appreciate it. Thanks, Beta Troll. Glad I can bring a smile. Right, yeah. So it does, if you get it, you can put it with other stuff, and then you get this semi-diorama just set up with the craft or doing what they're supposed to do. I think that's one of the cool things about getting, you kind of complete the look you're looking for. It's like the Royal Guard TIE Interceptor, the red one. You know, it's really cool looking because it's red, but now if you get one, you got to get two, because now you can have them either side of the shuttlecraft escorting the Emperor, right? So yeah, they know how to get us. All right. Slipped up, didn't do you the before and after. So this one again, I got in Japan, but I got it at the Hot Toys store. It was in the Hot Toys store when we got in there, so doesn't appear to be any difference between this and the ones we're used to seeing. We've got a standard rare sticker on there, silver. We got Darth Vader. We got R4K5. It's interesting as well. If you look up there, they got Vader in his cloak going into the ship. That's one thing I want to try out and see if he's got his removable cloak or if he will actually sit in there with the cloak on. Because I think it was the same with his TIE Fighter. Again, Series 5. We've gone down from 7, 6, and now we're on 5. This is number 14. In the back, schematic. Where are you going to stick your R2 or R4 astromech droid? Manipulation of the wings and your landing gear. Light armor class. And there's the other ones that came up. Did anyone else get Mace Windu's? I ended up getting Mace Windu's, the big purple one. Oh, we can see Ahsoka's Starfighter in there as well. And the single skiff. Did anyone go out and get the single skiff when it came out? I know I didn't, because I wasn't like super impressed with how it looked as a single skiff. And then they came out with that twin pack, and the ones in the twin pack looked pretty cool. So I ended up getting a twin pack, but not a single one. Yeah, it kind of looked like a chocolate bar version of it, which is a bit weird. All right, standard packaging. Gone back in time. We're used to seeing it. A couple of little tails here holding me on. We've got a graphic, which is cool. All right, what have we got? All right. Release. Save. All right, what have we got? Which, oh God, what's this one called again? Is it the V-Wing? They're all over it. They're all over. They're after Vader. All right. Oh, Paul, you did get the single skiff? Oh, true. We talked about this earlier, right? Sometimes it's the only way you're going to get the minifig with it. Yeah, I guess you get 3 skiffs at the end of it if you get that one, right? Never got it. Never saw it in Ross either. If I see it in Ross, I'll probably get it. But yeah, never ended up getting that one. It just did not look appealing. All right, get rid of that. There he is, the Buffalo Vader. All right, let's check out this. Slightly two-toned paint scheme we have on here, the gray and the black and the red. It does look pretty cool, right? And the red screen on the cockpit does look pretty cool. Underneath, same old, same old. The gray, and then we have the metallic silver on our engines and the slight menacing red glow of Lord Vader's ship. Yeah, I kind of like that red cockpit. Adds to it with the silver on there as well. Yeah, looks pretty badass. The wings should open. And again, underneath the wing, we have the different color as well, which adds more of that depth into it. That's nice. Bottom wing should also open, which they do. And now we can do spinning, because it's the best trick. Okay, cockpit should open too. I'm always so good at this. Always so good at this. Come on. Cockpit doesn't open. There we go. Wow. Why do they? I guess that's why this one didn't have a seatbelt, right? We don't need to put a seatbelt on that. We made it almost impossible to open. That never have a problem in shipping. Okay, let's take a look at the cockpit. Again, all the molding detail in there is pretty detailed. Look at it. They go to town on that thing. None of it's painted because it's too small probably, but there is a lot of detail in that cockpit if you can see it. Little buttons and pedals. Yeah, that's cool. That is cool. And we should have a little landing gear too. 1, 2. So it will actually sit upright once we close our wings. All right, fig time. Okay, R4K5. Lord Vader. Scott, good morning. How are you? Fun times yesterday, my friend. Fun time. We went to Frank and Sons. We got some goodies. I didn't get anything Star Wars. I did end up buying something which I already have. I'm not going to say I did a pull, but I was so excited. I saw something in there which I thought I didn't have. I ended up buying it, thinking, cool, this is a good price. I'm going to buy this. It's one of those rare ones that we can't find. And I bought it in a slight excited panic. And then probably about 15, 20 minutes, realized that it was the wrong one. I already had it. So it was the Wedge Antilles X-Wing. And I was like, oh, cool, I don't have that one. Right? And of course, I was thinking of Biggs Darklighter, the mysterious Biggs Darklighter. Bought it. You know, just 2.5 times the price. But hey, it was cheaper than ones I've seen online. I've already got the bloody thing. You know, this is where lists come in. This is where lists come in. Spreadsheets, apps to help us older collectors who can't remember what they got. All right, so Vader's cloak does come off because it didn't come out with him. Let's just concentrate on that a second. Okay. Detail on Vader is pretty dope. We've got silver accents on his armor. We've got the belt buckle in there as well. All over, great sculpt with such a intricate mask and detail character. So we have the back end of his skirt, which does, let me just put the cloak down, which does fold with the legs. So that's probably what we saw on that image rather than the full cloak. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Let's see if the cloak goes on and stays on when he stands. Okay, I'll try and hold his helmet. There you go. So cloak does go on, cloak does stay on, unless you pull it and then it will come off. So that's cool. I don't know how I would make a fig stand for him in his cloak because it's really tight to the body. So I don't know how I would do that. And again, I don't know if you'd have to as much with this one because it will stand upright with the cloak behind it at the length that they've made it. It is kind of like its own stand. So he does stand up pretty straight. Yeah, it does come off pretty easy too. There's Vader. Let's take a look at the droid. Droid looks good. Droid looks good. So there's kind of like a graphite gray and silver. Is there enough light on that? There you go. Detail on his dome. Some good detailing on that one too. Nothing's blurred or blotchy. They got it really down. I remember the original one, like we got R2 and it was just a blue dot on the lid. They really got that down. Even the markings down on the front. All highlighted and done. Yeah, that's cool. Good looking droid. Good looking droid. Let's put him where he needs to be. Okay. Sitting there, sitting duck, ready to be hit. Any laser blasts. Now, for the big test, does Vader fit in the cockpit? I think it's gonna. Let's raise his arms. Let's bend his legs. Let's put him in his cockpit. Yeah, easy, easy. Look at that. It was like it was made for him. I love the red lens in the front there as well. Not the best shot. Black on black. At least you can see the silver highlights. Oh man, this thing's tight. There you go, solid. So there's our Vader Starfighter. I have not figured out this one yet. So that's going to be probably my next challenge, is to figure out how I'm going to make a stand for this in a point that it won't come off. There's lots of different places with holes and stuff, but they're going to be covered. So yeah, this is going to be a challenge. This one is going to be a challenge. And I don't want to have all of these landed, right? Where's the fun in that? You know, I'm not going to a car show here. I want to see these things in action. So yeah, this one's going to be interesting. So hopefully I'll be able to come back with something for all of these. who are the same and find out a genius way of getting these to get all into action and battle together, which would be cool. But let's just land him down here. Where are we going to hang the cape? What do you do with the cape? Maybe there should be a cape clip on the back so it's just fluttering around in the back so we know it's Vader. Get rid of some of that smell of burnt bacon and charred skin. Air it out. Cool. That's a cool little one. No regrets. Glad I got it. What do you guys think? Let me have a look. Oh, Ryan's asking, did they make that droid or that astromech in a 3.75? I'm not sure. Not sure. I'm not in the Googling phase right now, so maybe someone else out there can find that out for you. Yeah, it is. It's a cool little droid. Cool little astromech. I'm liking it. Liking it. We can get to see him all the time poking out there, which is cool. Yeah, spinning is always the best trick. Let's go back in for some more of this. Oh. Never too much coffee. Never too many micro galaxy ships and never too much coffee. I guess we can do a quick comparison. Oh, perfect. I have my Anakin to do a comparison. The ship we know is going to be the same, just with a different paint job. But here's what I was talking about the droid, because this Anakin one came out before. And then look at R2 in there. Look at the paint job on R2. It's really not as washed out there. Sorry, guys. But look at the top. It's just a blob. Get him out. So that's what I was talking about. It literally is just, he's wearing a toque. Beanie. Dab, dab, dab. That's kind of what we got. So yeah, they stepped up the game big time. It's been getting better and better, but just a good comparison. A few more details on Anakin's as well. Little symbols, etc. Vader's is stealth though, right? He doesn't need that. He doesn't need that. Yeah, my next challenge will be to try and figure out how to get these into opposability, because I don't want to have them all landed. Like I said, it's too much like a car show, and it's obviously too much space danger too, right? I mean, if they're sitting on a shelf, you've only got so much room, so you've got to get these things up and out. I did, speaking with Paul about this, I did manage to come up with this. You're not going to be able to see it from up on the top here, so just want to, when I talk about trying to get it, I might as well show you what some of the end results are. I think I'm nearly done with this one. So this is just a way of displaying our starfighters with hyperspace ring. So again, really non-intrusive clip that just beautifully slides into the back of the starship there. Yeah, might be able to do the same thing with the other one. And now you can display this with the hyper ring, which has its own clip. And the reason it's so big and chunky is because you can, you look down here, we'll pull this one off. You can actually put, let's put it back on here. Okay, you can actually come in and you can actually reinsert the ship into the hyperspace ring. And now you can also display it on the hyperspace ring. But there's the clip I was talking about. It just goes nicely into behind the engines and just holds it nice and tight, so you can just do what you want with it, right? It's I love it. It makes me excited when I can display them and angle them and just make them look good. But yeah, it's not something that you can do quick and easy. You got to figure out a way of being able to get it so you don't block all the ship. You want to still see the ship. And again, what I like about this one is that you can just position it next to the engines there and just slide her. I've got to try and look and do it at the same time. Oh, sorry. Let's get in there. Take this. So with this one, it goes in behind the engines and just clips in there. Non-intrusive, which is kind of cool. Playing around with this universal joint as well, which hopefully will work out. So yeah, managed to get that. So I'm hoping if I can get that one figured out, I can also get it figured out for the other ones too. So stay tuned and we'll go from there. All right, fourth and final. Is everyone ready for our Vault release? Let's take a look. Oh, Johnny Cox joined us. Good morning. Good morning, Johnny. Yep, Jedi Starfighters. Now we're moving on. So the Vault, the Jazzwares Vault dropped a new release on us, which I managed to get in the week. Again, you've probably seen this on some of the other channels where the guys have unboxed them already. It looks so good. I just wanted to make sure that I have a look at it too, because the thing is with the Vault is that they make these beautiful boxes, right? It's hard to want to take them out because of these boxes, but I want to take it out and have a look at it because it's a cool little ship. It's the smallest box. I didn't even know what it was when it arrived. It arrived in a box just slightly bigger than this, the plain old brown shipper box. Well, this is the smallest one I think I've seen. And I know a lot of people have been ordering some of the smaller ships from the Vault, and there's been a lot of people saying that they're coming in boxes that are too big, just in their blister pack, shiny plastic boxes that we usually see and just rattling around and getting damaged. But the Jazzwares normally does such a great job at making sure that even this box comes clean and tidy by protecting everything by an outer box. So yeah, they're just not geared up for those other ones because they're I guess at the time they're really not supposed to be the people selling it. It's supposed to be on the pegs, right? Okay, let's get this open. Push this out. So this is it, a Geonosian Starfighter. Clone Wars. We have seen it in live action Clone Wars and animated Clone Wars. It's a Vault 1 of 3000. And again, comes with this beautiful graphic that we're used to seeing with all these Jazzwares ones. Full action scene with our lat at the top getting destroyed. Everyone remembers the scene in the live action where Padme's on the lat with Anakin and he's being chased down by two of these before she falls out and Anakin has a tantrum. Yeah, it's pretty cool looking. I think we see a lot of the animation with Dooku using them as well, right? But again, on the back, we get our typical blueprints, schematics, what happens with the ship, what you can do with the ship, and how you get your character in there. Number 11 in the Starfighter collection. And that's another question. As I've mentioned before, I've been cutting all of these out. I want to save them. I want to make some sort of backdrops with them and get them onto the shelf so we can utilize them and not just throw them away. You know, it's kind of cool to have that, but it means I've got to destroy this beautiful box and this beautiful artwork. Oh, it's a tricky one, right? But I've always said, screw it. I'm unboxing. I'm getting them out. This one's going to be a tricky one. This one's going to be all these ones are going to be tricky ones. I pulled the sleeves off. I've saved the sleeves. I've kept them in their see-through display case state at this point. But I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it's stay on target, destroy, get rid of it, get it out of the box, and get it out on display? I don't know. What do you think? Morning, the wife. Thanks for joining in. Hope you're having a good morning. Bit of troll, right? Maybe she had the high ground. She would have, she did have the high ground, dude. She was on a lap. Can't get much higher than that. Ryan says open it. Yeah, I'm gonna open it. But the question is, do I destroy this, silky 3D graphic raised beautiful box with all these different elements of awesomeness on it to keep this card and stick it with the others? Oh, see, now Paul comes in with keep the box in, and he's expressing, it's his capital letters, keep the box. I'm gonna save the sleeves for now, but I don't know, maybe I need to just get another one while I can. And remember, 1 of 3,000. So these don't last forever unless we purchase this from the vault in its beautiful box, and then we see it come out on peg hanging, typical blister packs, in which case I can keep this on this and then get the one from the blister pack. How about that? How about I save that for a question of a possible new live stream and say, is there, are we going to see some of these Vault exclusives comes out in an Armada style, or just in a regular blister black style, with maybe a different paint job on it, maybe with another character on it? And if there's a non-answer and a maybes, then yeah, I'll hang on. I'm not going to damage anything, and I'll wait and see if that's going to be the case. All right, enough stress. Oh, look, this is another thing we mentioned the other day. How cool is this? You get not only the special puckering anus if I don't get it sticker on the outside of the box, you get it on the inside too. So you can display it in the display case plastic. Okay, safely and neatly store this one. No throwing, saving. All right, so here's what it looks like. Now, one of the big reasons I like to unbox these things and get them out is because of this. If I hold this up, this is what you get when you look at them. It doesn't matter if I've got a light above me. It could be the sunshine. It could be an open window. You never really get to appreciate what's inside of there, right? So, it's kind of got to come out if you want to appreciate it. And I know there's going to be like this angle here. It works perfectly, right? But yeah, it's always been a bone of contention, for sure. Yeah. Order 2, open 1, keep the other in a box. Yeah, it makes sense. It does make sense. Yeah. There's part of me that thinks that this thing may come out. If you're going to go to the trouble of making a mold, and I know that it should be the way it is with an exclusive, there should only be 1 of 3,000. But it's also part of that fleet or army building ship. It's, if you've got the tank, if you've got the LAT, if you've got all the other clone ships, if you've got all the other separatist stuff, then you need more than one of these. Do you want to just purchase a ton of these fancy pants boxes, right? That's the thing. But yeah, you're right. I mean, if you want to open one and keep one, then that's the way to go. That's the way to go. I'd rather buy 2 ships than keep. I don't know. It's difficult. It is difficult. What's this one here? Do you ever use gloves to protect from skin, oil, and dirt? You know what? Not for this. I don't. I think if I had something which was a rarer ship and something could not be got, and my dirty ass fingers are going to taint. So yeah, for sure I would. For sure I would. But with this, no. And hopefully, maybe you weren't being serious. I don't know. But nah, not for this. Not for this. These things are going to go out on a shelf, get covered in dust and dirt. God knows what else. And dirty fingerprints dribble from my excitement. But yeah. Man, if this thing was a rare, man, yeah, I wouldn't even want to touch it. I wouldn't even want to unbox it. But nah, not for this. We're dirty openers, man. Filthy openers. Up until last week, I ripped these things apart. Kevin is here. Hi, Kevin. Toying around. Glad you could make it. Don't forget, everybody. Follow Kevin. He's an active man. Always got good stuff to watch. So make sure you're subscribed to Toying Around so you can see what's going on. For sure. Glad you can make it, man. Thanks for joining. Take it out, play with it, put it back in the box for display. Yeah. The thing is, get your toys out, right? Get your toys out. Appreciate them. I don't so much play with them and then put them back in. I want to, in my mind, I'm playing with them all the time they're out. So putting them out on display is the way to go, because then every time you come in, you got a smile on your face, you appreciate what you got, and you go back to that day of when we first started getting into all this stuff, right? So I don't want them in the boxes anymore. I don't want them in the boxes anymore. I put it off long enough. Get it out and take a look at it. This hurts. Look away. Okay, there's two there. All right. She's in there, good people. Chat amongst yourselves. It's the double. Yep. Definitely ruined the resale value now. The tape is cut. You caught it live. There's no way I can sell it. But you know what? I don't wanna. Oh wow. This one was not meant to come out, eh? Wow, I'm probably going to open up the top. It's kind of embedded in there. I don't know if you can see that, but there's kind of like a double securing in there for this base. Does it go up in there? Is that what it is? Yeah, it is. It's like another tab that goes up through. Wow, you see that? They've got another tab for the base that goes up through. And someone's probably going to tell me I should have... Oh dear, really? I'm not going there on this one. Leave that up to the chat. Okay, so yeah, this is in the good. I think I'm gonna have to take it out the other way or something. It's really in there. Wow. It kind of loops around. They don't want you to get it out, man. They don't want you to get it out. Okay, here's the next thing. I'm gonna come in from the top. But now I've got the bottom open, I'm gonna unwind the twister. We've got a twisty in there. So I'm gonna unwind that. And I'm gonna open up the top and take it out from the top, man. I feel like I'm going against the wishes of the makers here. Doing something I shouldn't be doing. But hey, I'd rather be a rebel. Feel the tears. All right. Okay, what else have we got here? We've got two twisties, another one at the back. And she's so dainty and so small. It's so secure in here. I'm just going to keep doing it in the light so you guys can then appreciate why I'm getting it out. Twist these off. Twist these out. All right. It looks so dainty. And there we can see our lat in the background. It's the wallpaper for this great display that I've just destroyed. But this is why. This is why. No separate figure case for this one. He's already in. Our little click-clack is in his seat. But yeah, this is a nice looking pair of tweezers. What do you think about this one, guys? Is this one that you purchased? Is this one that you now want to run out and get? Did anyone get this one already? Did anyone receive this one already? It's pretty cool. No stand with it. No stand with it. And again, rounded and sleek, streamlined. Very hard to make one for this. This will be a challenge for sure. Got a little engine compartment there with a faint glow. It's like a purple almost. Yeah, definitely like a purple glow of the engine. If we can get that in the right light, there we go. And this copper, I'd say this was a copper color for sure, with grey highlights. Not much detail you really have to put into it. Maybe some weathering. Yeah, that's good. That's good. The action of this is the weapon down here, the cannon, can swivel backwards and forwards. So let's test it out. Let's see if that's actually the case. Maybe they lied because they know you want to keep it in the box. There we go. Look at that. She's a swiveler. She is a swiveler. Let's take it back the other way. Again, the typical kind of rubber. Can't hurt the kids. At least it's not bent. It's nice and straight. Stay straight, even though I've moved it. Cool. This is the Geonosian Starship. Kevin's asking. So yeah, this is the Geonosian. I will go back to my saved card here so you can see they based it from the Clone Wars. And yeah, Geonosian Starfighter. Clone Wars. I'm sure you recognize it. I'm sure you recognize it. And if not, you need to go back and watch. And then you'll recognize and say, that's the one. Now I get it. I'm sure we see Dooku go to and forth his risky little meetings with everybody in this. You see it come in, reverse, land, and then out he'll come. It's cool. And now, like I said, if you've got one, you're going to want more than one. And if you're going to display it, it's going to look really cool if it's in action rather than just landed. Unless you're going to recreate one of those meetings of Dooku up to his no good. Okay, so we have the landing gear at the front. Again, quite a small landing gear there. And then we have two here in the rear. One, two. Does that one lock out? That one doesn't even lock out. This one always worries me. It's like it's not paint that's stopping it. Something's stopping it. And I don't know if I force it, I'm going to break it and I'm going to cry. But something there is not letting that fully lock like this one does. So you can see it's not quite locking. I don't want to force it. It's bad enough unboxing it, but forcing it and breaking it, I don't think I'm going to do that. You know, yeah, you could be right. And maybe I'm the guy that needs to go back and watch and be sure. Yeah, Dooku's may have been a different ship. Maybe there's a different, like a carrier or a transport versus a starfighter, a starship. You could be right there. I think you're right. I remember seeing a different kind of bubble in it, but same style, right? Then maybe we'll get one. Maybe they should have done Dooku's as a Vault exclusive if it is different, because that's one that would be on its own, you know. And then these ones would have been escorting it and doing all the dirty work, right? So yeah, I think you're right. But these are definitely the ones that took down the hopes and dreams of Anakin. He thought he lost his girlfriend. And starting the outbreak of the Clone Wars. Yeah, for sure. I think, you know, these not so much escorts, but like fighters, the dirty fighters, the soldiers getting out there. These things are probably smaller, easier to fly, and better out there for combat, for sure. Yeah, maybe we'll end up getting a different one with Dooku. Do we have Dooku? These are questions I should get answers to before, right? But that's why we do this. We can all chat and you guys can tell me while I'm concentrating on not breaking this thing. Do we have Dooku as a minifig? Anyone? I don't know. I don't know if we've got Dooku right now. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, enough about that. You got me sidetracked. Will it stand up with the crooked? Yeah, it still stands up with the wonky leg. So we're good. We could land it. I don't know how I'm gonna get this one out and fighting. It's gonna be interesting. All right, moving on. Let's open up this cockpit, which was easy for this one. Wow, look at that. That is very cool. Look at the detail in there. They have really, I don't know how many of these things we've opened this morning and said the cockpit detail is everything, but they haven't gone in there and added any paint. This, and I'm just looking at it through the camera right now, not even down on it, that is really detailed. And the figure itself is kind of freaky looking. Wow, look at that. That's cool. That blue they've used as well. That's rad. I like that. That's cool. Metallic in the back. Well, the engine is. I'm just looking at this away from the camera just to really get eyes on it. It's cool. It's metallic. All of this stuff in the cockpit, that's why it's so washed out, is it's all metallic. Metallic silver with that almost luminous greeny blue. Aqua. Whoa, that's cool, right? Yeah, that's great detail. All right, I'm going to pull him out. Take another look inside there and see what we got. Even the base of the floor is in a black, like a metallic black, and the chair is in the gray. Again, I don't know how many colors we got in this cockpit, and it's pretty freaking tiny. There's a lot of different colors in there. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but how the hell would you see this detail and effort that's gone into this if this is closed and it's in the box with the dude sat in it? Like, no regrets. Glad I opened it, because if I didn't, I probably wouldn't have got to appreciate all of that. And now you guys don't have to open it because my pain and disappointment has given you a look into it. So that's cool. That's really cool looking, man. Yeah, I like that. That's really cool. All right. Let's check out in here. I saw some things pink. All right, so yeah, that would make sense. That's one of the things I've not really been big into going out and getting every series is the Scout class or the blind box stuff. I haven't really gotten there, but there's some really cool little minifigs in those. So, you know, the regret is real. I wish I did, because you can get some of those minifigs in there. But I've really just been concentrating on the ship. So yeah, that makes sense. Dooku on his little bike, we see him ride everywhere there. That makes all the sense. And it's probably a way that you can get, excuse me, probably a way you can get some of the figures without having to go out or wait to find them hanging on a peg, is to try and get out there and see if anyone's got any traders of the Scout class. Because if you're buying all the blind boxes, and you probably get a couple of repeats and doubles and trades. I know there's a few people out there that are dealing on all the figs themselves, which are really cool. Those that aren't army building, which again looks so cool, no matter what scale you've got, if you've got them all out there. Yeah, that's a way of getting a Dooku for sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, you'll get a common release of the ship, and not as much with it. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm hoping so. And if it's a good seller, then I'll definitely get a couple. If it's not a good seller, then I'll definitely find him in Ross, right? What have we got here? Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. I agree. It's really cool to see how much effort they do put into it. So let's take a look at our little Geonosian. And I'm still going to call him a dude. It's almost like he's translucent. You know, it's almost like he's creepy and slimy. There's his wings. So the wings are painted. The armor or chest piece and little flap and this little bout is all painted too. The eyes, they got pretty bang on. I don't know how close I can get to that. There you go. The eyes are pretty bang on. No wonkiness. It's perfect little round dots. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I think we've had these guys come out as well in the Scout class. Pretty sure. Yeah, like it. It's a good looking fig. He fits nicely into the cockpit too, and I'm going to put him back in there. Here we go. Sits in there pretty good. Even those big old legs. Fits in there nice and easy. That's cool. See what it looks like through the window. He still looks pretty cool. The detail in this, awesome. I love it. I love it. What do you guys think? Yeah, the little dude does actually look pretty good. I agree. I agree. Wow, here we go. I'm happy. I'm a happy man. This is a good little haul, and no regrets on opening this. I'm glad I did. I think I've got my work cut out trying to figure out how I'm going to get these on display for sure. What do you think? Did it make you want to go out and get one? Are there even any left? Who's waiting for the release of the common? Who's going to go out and get the Vault? It's always interesting to know if you just hang on, are you going to get it? And then that FOMO is going to kick in. But cheers. All right. I'm going to check in the chat, see if anyone's got anything else. Troll says he's very much a common collection guy. A lot of time as well, though, with the Vault, with the packs that they're doing, like the Starfighter class packs. They're putting a rare in there, they're putting a chase in there, they're putting the ships in there, not all of them, but a good selection of them. So, you know, as a part of me that's thinking, do I just wait for the next one to come out for that series? Because they seem to be putting them out for all the series. I know some of the back series they haven't done, some of the early series they haven't done, and I don't know if it's because they don't have any to put in there. I don't know how this works. I don't know if they're just sitting there in the background and could be made again, but they're not going to. But definitely the latest couple of series that we've had, I think even starting from 3, maybe 4, we've definitely got these box sets. So do you not panic so much to get out there and get them and just wait for those to come out? But there's no guarantee, right? We don't know we're going to get it. We don't know there's going to be one in there. So that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it fun. All right, let's go back to the chat, see what everyone's talking about before I let you guys get on with your Sunday. Okay. Jason, good to see you here. Thanks for joining today. You only own the Tabor X-Wing. That's not going to be in this yet because we haven't been blessed with the Micro Galaxy Tabor X-Wing. We should be. I'd like to be. I think we'd all like it to happen. So write to your local Jazzwares representative. Are you talking about the Hot Wheels one that came out, which was cool? Maybe? Yeah, I'd love to see a Tabor X-Wing come out with the droid and put with the X-Wing collection. It's where it needs to be, you know? It's where it needs to be. That's what I've just said as well. I think that's what he means. I think that's what he means. I want the TIE Interceptor, but none of the others in that set. So I didn't buy the Vault. Right. Yeah, that's the tricky bit. Because if you go out, for me, if I've gone out and got them, and they're all in that set, and I don't necessarily need to have doubles of them, I kind of want to get the set to get the one I didn't get. But then, you know me, I'm not a go out there, and I'm not a trader and an online seller, so it makes it hard to get rid of all the rest of them. Yeah, we'll see what the next one comes out with, see what they put in it, see what their plans are. You know, we've even seen some of the single ones come up on the site for sale. I think the TIE Bomber we talked about last time came up, and we saw that go up there. There's been other single ships up there as well, which they've put out there to sell. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, because you know the struggle is real when we go to the stores and we just don't find anything on the pegs. I mean, right now, the last time I think I looked, we had the M1 Starfighter in abundance. And a lot of the shuttles, the second shuttle they brought out, Return of the Jedi one, they're there, but I didn't see any of the Series 9 just hanging. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all works out for us. No problem, man. That's what we thought. And you're right. It's a good looking ship. Same scale, same size. They did a good job with that one. Everyone see that one? The Hot Wheels one? I think you probably, Paul unboxed it. Hopefully you've seen it. If not, you can always go back to the Bit Rage and Do channel and watch it, which is what you should do. Paul's done some unboxings of these awesome ships along with other stuff, so definitely check it out. All right. Well, hey, everyone that's here, again, thanks so much. Sorry if there's any confusion with it being Sunday, but again, the way this is working out for the DL44 network is we just don't know when we're going to go on, but when we do, if you're not subscribed, you probably won't get a notification. So I would subscribe. You don't know who's going to be on, you know when they're going to be on, you don't know what you're going to see and get. I am going to try and stick to weekends for sure, whether it be Saturday morning or Sunday morning, depending on what's going on. Like I said, apologies for yesterday. I was at Frank and Sons looking for toys with my buddies there, and I couldn't quite make it do. So stay tuned for next week. I'm hoping it will be back to a Saturday, but it could be a Sunday. And if we like the fun and the thrill, subscribe, get the notifications, and keep an eye on what's going on with DL44. Thanks for joining. Hope you had some good times. Hope you had your popcorn for your afternoon or your coffee for your morning. And I'm hoping to do the same again and get some more of these things unboxed. future progress with how this Starfighter is going to, or this Interceptor is going to be held. Go from there. You're welcome. I'm enjoying it, and I'm loving hanging out with people unboxing these. There's nothing worse than sitting and doing it on your own. So I really appreciate everyone joining. Hope you're getting something out of it. Thanks, Ryan. Glad you could join. Stay busy. Yeah, and we'll see you guys all again for the next one, or who knows what is going to happen. Just follow, subscribe to DL44, and have some fun with it. Keep getting those toys out, and I'll see you next time.